Okay, this is my first posting of a dream that I had probably about 3 weeks ago. Today is September the 22nd, 2015. In this dream, I was in a large high school. I was looking out a window, and I can see walking on the sand what looked like ISIS, all dressed in black from head to toe and faces covered. Walking, about 10 of them, maybe more, with looked like many or some with machine guns, walking toward the high school. They had a very mission-oriented type of walk. They weren't walking in lines. They were walking like freelancing kind of, but they were walking very militantly in the sense that they looked like they were on a mission. And they were on sand in the distance, but walking toward this large high school that I was in. Myself, maybe other teachers and students, we saw this. It wasn't just myself. And immediately we were looking for a place to hide. My first thought was to look in the ceiling, maybe because I was looking for the Rapture. To me, it just seemed like we couldn't be found if we could somehow get into the ceiling. But there was no place to hide in the ceiling. So I immediately began looking for like another place. Immediately, as I'm kind of moving, and it happened very quickly, I looked out a window, maybe the same window, maybe it was another window. But I looked out again, and now there were many of these ISIS, maybe hundreds of them with machine guns. They weren't on sand anymore. They were literally, some were maybe about 50 yards away from the school. And I had the sense that there was a few of them that were right about to enter the school. And me and some of the people who are, I guess, with me, I looked to my right and I saw this hallway. And the hallway was like black, like it was covered, not painted black, but it looked like it was covered in black, like maybe from soot. Maybe from some type of explosion or something, and I found a power cord that was like it looked like a cable, coax cable or something. It was like rolled up, in this hallway, in this black hallway, and in this hallway, I just knew that there was a classroom of a teacher that I know. That if we got into his room in this black hallway, we can escape out the back door through his classroom, and I just knew somehow we would be able to escape. And that's what we did. Maybe me and a few others. We escaped through the back door, and then I woke up. It's very interesting because I've been seeing a lot of visions, dreams on YouTube, obviously for the last year, as probably many of you have, and probably the least that I've seen any dreams and visions or anything. It was on ISIS, and and the funny thing is, I asked God for a dream. An end-time dream, because I'm looking at all these people having it. I'm saying, Lord, is there something that you want to reveal to me, something that you could show me? And probably the one thing that I would least have learned about through the visions and dreams is probably the one thing that he revealed to me, at least. If I had to give I don't want to say an interpretation, but it seems to me that maybe these terrorist attacks are going to happen before the rapture. I think by the fact that I was looking through for the escape in the ceiling and it hadn't happened yet, certainly seems to indicate to me that maybe the rapture has not happened. B, this hallway was a time of there was some kind of, it was covered in black. And the fact that the power cord was rolled up tells me that maybe there was some kind of explosion. Maybe it was a bomb. It certainly seemed to be maybe a time of darkness, and the fact that power cords were a power cord like a coax cable was rolled up. The fact that it was rolled up kind of suggests that there was a time of blackness that was beyond just immediate. Like if I didn't see a power cord there, then maybe this had just happened. But it certainly seems reasonable to conclude that the fact that it was rolled up, this may have been a brief, but I don't want to say extended period, but long enough that people would have rolled up a power cord, if that makes sense. And I believe through the back of that classroom may have very well been learning about the rapture. I think maybe there's many people who are not aware that there is a rapture. And a lot of people are talking about it, but the funny thing is I think there's just as many people as maybe talking, and maybe even more that I know of people in ministry and otherwhere who are not even mentioning the rapture at this time, yet we seem to be at that time. It seems to be right now. So maybe there are people who are going to go through this time of blackness and darkness and learn about the rapture during this time. Just my thought. I would really like to know what many of you who are hearing this, what you might be thinking. If you agree with that kind of an interpretation, if you believe that there's something that, you've had a similar dream, a similar vision or experience, and you would like to share it in the comments, please, by all means, do so. Obviously, if you're not a believer in visions and dreams, well, I understand that. I wouldn't expect anybody to believe everything everybody puts on YouTube. So I would just ask that you obviously use some consideration if you disagree. That's fine, okay? But I really would like to hear from people who have something that contribute in a way that would kind of put more of the pieces of the puzzle together. Thanks for listening. It's my first time posting anything like this, and I appreciate you listening. Thanks. God bless, and have a great one.